One of the very first dive watches ever made is back, and it's surprisingly affordable. Back in 1953, three watch brands came up with a new type of tool watch, the diver. This game-changing watch genre was built for a specific reason, to support the new sport of scuba diving. And it combines a high water resistance, a rotating timing bezel, and luminous hands and markers. Blancpain 50 Fathoms is credited for the first dive watch, but the Rolex Submariner and the Zodiac Sea Wolf were not far behind. What's really interesting is the very first Zodiac dive watches launched in 1953 weren't technically Sea Wolf divers. The name didn't appear on the dial until a few years later. The very first Zodiac divers had no name and only known by the reference 691. Today, Zodiac has faithfully recreated the reference 691 diver with a few modern updates and some help from the vintage watch experts at Craft and Tailored. 71 years later, this new iteration of the pre-Sea Wolf has a lot of similarities, but there are some key differences as well. First, let's go over the similarities. For one, the case size is still a compact 36 millimeters, which I personally am a fan of, even on my 7-inch wrist. Secondly, the dial text remains the same, with no mention of the Sea Wolf to be found, and the unique retro indices and Daphne hands are also carried over. Even the original colors, black and cream, have been recreated. The stainless steel bezel keeps the countdown style more frequently seen on pilots' watches, but it now has a more dive-appropriate unidirectional function as opposed to the bidirectional we saw on the original. Now let's look at the differences. The new crown screws down, which can be seen on most modern dive watches, and the water resistance has doubled from 100 meters to 200 meters. The dome crystal has also changed from acrylic to sapphire. The black dial version features the same faux rivet bracelet you'll find on other modern Sea Wolf divers, while the cream Craft and Tailor edition gets a bracelet without rivets. The biggest and most significant change is what's found inside the watch. Instead of powering the watch with an automatic movement like the one found in the original reference 691 or every other Sea Wolf diver in Zodiac's modern catalog, the new 691 houses a manually wound movement, the STP-121. STP is a Swiss-based manufacturer and a sister company of Zodiac. The movement features a 40-hour power reserve, and it marks the first time a hand-wound movement has been used in any modern Zodiac watch. The new reference 691 is limited to 400 pieces in black, which could be found on Zodiac's website, and the cream dial is only available in 100 pieces and could be found on Craft and Tailored website. Both styles have the same price, and despite the likelihood that these two retro reissues will prove popular with collectors, Zodiac and CNT kept the SRP very reasonable. The new Zodiac reference 691 is priced at $1,695. That's only $100 more than Zodiac's standard Sea Wolf skin diver, and a really great price for such a well thought out and faithful tribute to one of the very first dive watches.